Alright guys, how you doing? It's Rabea, hope you're all good. Right, so today we've got a new pedal brought to you in association with the dudes at Keeley Electronics. Just want to say a big shout out to Robert Keeley. I know he had surgery not long ago and I hope he's doing well, recovering well. He is a legend, so let's send him all some love collectively through this YouTube video. Okay, what are we looking at today? Well, this is a brand new pedal called the Hydra. It's a reverb and tremolo in one box. In terms of its concept, it's really meant to pair up with the Eccos, which is the delay slash, I guess, tape sort of flanger that came in one box that I've done a video of, link in the description box. It's a fantastic delay, and the idea being that you sort of pair these two together. So you've got reverb and delay, and then you've got tremolo and flanger as well, or modulation. Kind of giving you a world of different ambient delay reverb tones just from all kinds of styles in two pedals that you can have on your pedal board and kind of get everything covered. So if you're a fan of Keeley pedals and you want a reverb and delay, you can do a bit of everything, then I strongly suggest these as a pair. I think they'd be fantastic. But in this video, we're just looking at the Hydra. Okay, let's take a closer look at the Hydra. Okay, so you should be able to see some close-ups, but I'm going to read out the controls and their secondary functions. So from left to right, we've got rate, so that is the rate of the tremolo, and then tremolo sync, which essentially allows you to change the panning of the tremolo, which we'll get into later. Then on the right hand side, we've got dwell, which is reverb decay, or we've got the wet dry of that reverb as well. So you can have that pan central as stereo, or you can have a wet dry kind of vibe. In the middle, we've got color, which is also our secondary function access button. So you just push it in to, get control of the secondary functions of the pedal. Color is also a tone of the reverb. And then bottom left, we've got depth or trem level. So it gives you a 6 decibel boost for trem level to make up for the inherent loss that happens with using a tremolo. So that's really handy. And then bottom right, you've got mix, which is the mix of reverb in the signal. But its alternate function is reverb modifier, which is really cool because we've got a few different types of reverbs on this pedal. Firstly, we've got spring, so that reverb modifier acts as spring age. Then we've got plate, so that reverb modifier acts as shimmer, so it gives you these shimmer overtones like an octave higher, which is stunning. And then we've got room, which acts as a room size, so you can go everything from a closet all the way through to like a giant room with full decay, which is really sick. So the mixer slash reverb modifier control is really handy. Next, you should be able to see a close-up of the toggle switch to change the different type of reverb or tremolo, which is really cool. So if you wanted to flip through the different types of reverb, you simply flick it and it moves across, as you should be able to see on the close-up as well. But then on top of that, if you hold down that alternate function switch, it'll make it flash, which means it's activating which tremolo you want to use, which is really cool. So in terms of the 3 types of tremolo in the pedal, you've got harmonic, sine wave, and vibrato. And reverb-wise, as I said, you've got spring, plate, and room. That pretty much covers this pedal, aside from the fact that you've got TRS function on the side so you can have an external foot switch to control it. You've also got an expression pedal. It is true stereo, so we have hooked this up in true stereo because it's going to sound amazing. But I just wanted to touch really quickly on that trem sync control because it's really cool. Essentially, when you hold down that alternate button and you can move from left to right as counterclockwise to clockwise. So counterclockwise on the trem sync basically gives you a alternating kind of tremolo sound. So you'll have basically an even parts alternating sort of panned effect, which is really cool. At noon, they're in sync, so both are doing it at the same time. But then if you turn it full clockwise, it's going to give you the stereo out is going to have the effect and the mono out is not. So you get sort of a dry wet thing. The same goes for reverb. If you want to use reverb on just one side, you just hold the alternate button and you simply just change the wet dry control of the reverb and you can have either stereo or wet dry, which is really cool. And lastly, you can save up to 3 presets in this, so that's really sick. I've actually saved one myself that I really enjoy, which we'll get onto later. But for this video, you're going to hear it in full stereo, running the VX100 and the SLO100 from Soldano. I'm going to be using my Strat. We're just going to get some beautiful reverb and tremolo tones from the Hydra. Let's check it out. Okay, so to start out, this is the sound of the rig. This is just the Strat into both the SLO and the Kraken together. So it sounds really nice. So let's start with the reverb. So just dial in a reverb and we'll start by just going to the spring, put everything at 12 o'clock so I can give you an idea of what we've got. So we can change the color, make it brighter, duller, as you can hear. We can change the decay, which is obviously a lot for a spring. You would never have that amount on a normal spring. So the reverb modifier for spring, as I said, it acts as an age. So all the way to the right is really new sounding springs, and then all the way to the left is really old sounding. So to access it, you just hit the color knob, hold it down. So let's try really old sounding first. And then really new. I like it lower, older. So that's basically how the reverb works. You've got basically mix, decay, tone, and then you can add that special effect from the reverb, whether it be the age of the spring, the size of the room, or the shimmer in the plate. Let's move on to plate. So this is going to be a sweeter, more ambient kind of vibe. So I'm going to put color halfway, mix up quite a bit. Sounds really, really nice, does that, as a sort of plate reverb, beautifully ambient. Yeah, I really like that. So now use the alternate function to bring in the shimmer. Obviously that was extreme amounts of shimmer, but you get the vibe. It's really cool. Right, room. So I'm going to put it as closet-sized room to start with. So this is a really natural kind of room sound. Throwing on a bit of the thunderclaw to get that dirty fuzz room sound. So that sounds really cool. I like the room sound. And obviously the decay, depending on where you've got the reverb modifier set as like a closet or big room, then the decay acts accordingly. So even in the smallest setting, this is the max amount of decay we'll get. So it's still quite a bit. But now if we put the room up on full, so this is a much bigger room. So if we go all the way up, you should get a really intense room. So you can turn the room into a beautiful, different kind of ambient reverb, which I really, really like. So yeah, I'm really digging all the reverbs in this so far. Right, let's check out the first vibrato setting. So this is sine wave vibrato, and just so that you can see how it works, at the minute it's showing me the red LED over the reverb type, but if I was to press and hold, it flashes on the vibrato type, as you can see, just so you know. So let's start with the first vibrato. I put the depth up high so you can hear it, and we're going to put the trem sync in the middle so it's affecting both sides equally. So that's the sine wave tremolo. Put some reverb on it. So with the reverb on there and the tremolo, that sounds really cool. Really cool. So let me show you what happens if we mess with the panning. So we'll slow it back down, but we'll turn the depth up so you can hear it. So to access the panning, you press down color mode and then you mess with the trem sync. So counterclockwise is alternating. At noon, they're both together like currently, like this. And then full clockwise, one side will go dry, so the soldano side will be dry. So we'll start counterclockwise so they're alternating. So check this out. And we can boost the tremolo level if we want to make up for that. So that's really cool. Back with the reverb. It's going to sound weird in your ears. So yeah, that's basically how you can control the different panning modes. I'm going to put it back in the middle. Right, let's check out some of the other tremolo settings. So yeah, alternate mode, let's move to harmonic. So this is harmonic trem now. That's really cool. Let's put the panning alternating. I will get lost in it for hours with this pedal. I mean, I've got all the ambience decay that I need, and that panning effect is absolutely stunning. It's so cool. It's so just vibey, just gets you lost in it. It's a beautiful sound, especially in stereo. Digging that. Absolutely stunning. Okay. So I don't get carried away. Something else I should mention as well is that if you hold down the reverb for, I think it's 5 seconds, it becomes an infinite decay so that you can play over it, which is really nice. Okay, so we've heard the harmonic trem. So let's move over now to vibrato. I have to say this at this point with the Hydra, I'm going to say it at the end, but what I'm loving are the little Easter eggs, like the shimmer in the reverb, but being able to pair that with any 3 different types of tremolo and pair that with any different 3 types of reverb that I've got, and having these different just nuances inside the pedal make it its own vibe, its own thing. It's not just reverb and tremolo, and I really like that. It's the same thing with the Eccos. As I said at the beginning of this video, if you have both the Eccos and this, I don't think you'd ever need to worry about the kind of reverb and delay tones you'd be able to get. Absolutely awesome. So that would be the 3 different types of tremolo. So at this point, I'm just going to mess around and check out some different things. Okay, well there is a look at the brand new Keeley Hydra. I have to say, I'm really impressed with this. I mean, I loved the Eccos, but the Hydra for me, I think I'm more of a reverb guy than a delay guy these days, so that's probably why I had a bit of a soft spot for this. But I absolutely love the combination of tremolo and reverb together, and having control of being able to pan, do the dry wet thing or simultaneous sort of panning going on. It just makes this pedal really vibey. It gives it its own sort of atmosphere that you can just get involved in. You could just have this pedal with maybe a push clean or a clean amp, maybe a bit of crunch, you know, switch in and out, but you would just have so much fun is what I've done here. I've just been sat here playing for ages and really enjoyed myself. So absolutely thumbs up for the Hydra. But yeah, I expected as much with this. You know, it's Keeley for a start. I knew it was reverb, and it, you know, based similarly in terms of the way it works to the Eccos. I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna dislike this at all. So I hope you enjoyed this demo of it. It's not really a review. My opinion is that I enjoy it. I think it's great, and I think if you've already got the Eccos, or you're looking for something with a nice bit of atmosphere in terms of reverb, having that tremolo option there, it's really cool. But yeah, the fact it's true stereo and you've got external compatibility to control it, and then yeah, teamed up with the Eccos. I might do a video with both of them, just some tones, so you can hear what happens when you mix the two. Anyway, thank you so much to Keeley Electronics. As I said, my best goes out to Robert at the minute, hoping he's getting a speedy recovery. But thank you so much for sending the Hydra over for me to do a demo of, and I'd love to know what you guys think in the comments section below. And of course, I will link this and the video to the Eccos in the description box. But until next time, I've been Rabea, so like, subscribe and share, and I will see you all very soon.